it's so much talent in the city of Nashville, but it isn't any help to get this talent outside the city. A lot of people complaining. A lot of people are unsatisfied with the relationships that's supposed to be within the artists and the DJs. So out of my own curiosity, I reached out to the program director of Nashville Radio, Dolewite. We had a sit down, and he gave all the answers everybody been asking. Now that I'm working on the executive side now, learning more of the business to make sure that the artists I believe in, I'm trying to push them to break the barrier, and I know it's very possible. And I wouldn't even be doing this if I felt like it wasn't possible. I'd just stick to my music and just do that. But now that I know it's real and I can create a sound and a demand for that music, I have everything that I, you know what I'm saying, that I need to do it. So why not go and ask questions? Like I've been to Atlanta so much. Like I got partnerships with like big studios and all that, and that's great. But if I can't take over home, it don't mean nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like that's special what I got in Atlanta, and it's actually, I'm actually seeing blessings from that. But this is important to me. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's a couple things that people need to realize, especially like somebody like you that works with artists. Just working with artists can be some frustrating shit. Because artists want to go in the studio, they want to do what they want to do, and then they want to live the lifestyle like they own already. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
It's all about getting high, getting drunk, women, all that.
Yeah.
But if an artist really wants it, they're going to do all those little details that they're going to have to do in order to get to where they want to go. And those are details that you necessarily cannot do for them. You know what I mean? They're just... It's funny, man. In 15 years here, we've had artists come in. All the artists we've had come in, I'm almost perfect at predicting who will come back and who will not. Had a lot of people come in the studio, and I'm like, this dude, you'll never. There's two ways I'll never see somebody again. Either one, they're gonna blow up past the point where they don't come and do radio no more, or two, you're never gonna hear from them again. And I can almost tell you which one is going to be which from the get-go. From having one conversation with him, I'm like, this dude's not going to make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So artists have to take it upon themselves to do all of the little things. Make sure they're talking to people that like their music. That's who people want to hear from. You know what I'm saying? That's who people want to hear from. They got to make sure that they're nurturing their following. And not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people get that. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people don't. I feel like a lot of people don't understand. Like that's your consumer. Your fan is your consumer. So that's who's going to
always
make.
Right.
Yeah. That's who's going to make you.
More than 9 to 5, you know that the customer's always right, bro.
Lord have mercy. Have I?
I have too. Quite a few of them. But
I think one of the things like I wanted to ask, like I don't know if it would be intuitive for like not just radio staff, but like important people in general. Like it's one lady that I know, she owns a publishing company, and like I learned a lot from her. It's people like here, the personnel here that's like the head guy for like the Grammy Association. You know what I'm saying? Like the actual, like they make big decisions.
right.
Can you foresee a like more panels and more educational things that you could possibly be a part of?
Yeah, absolutely. I did my first intern that I had. Her name's Erica. She works with 2L sometimes in Militia, and they put together a panel a couple weeks ago that I was part of. Erica is in streaming at Universal, which is here in Nashville. And if I'm invited and I have the time, I'll do it. I have no problem. Like, and I like to do that because I think people, understandably, a lot of artists get frustrated.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is, and what I don't like is when, for some reason, their success their lack of success gets blamed on me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
you ain't successful. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I mean?
And that's one reason why I made that post. Now, one of the main reasons I know artists
I felt
really
like it was
watch
a respectful post though, and that's why I was like, that's why I engaged on it. If it had been like, fuck Dolewite, like this dude ain't shit, I would have ignored that, man. Like I'm not getting involved in that kind of shit. But if it's a question or posed respectfully, like, I'll sit down with anybody and talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not an issue. There are two things I don't like. One, I don't like somebody that does not know me saying some disrespectful shit. Then I'm just going to disregard you. I'm not even going to engage you. I'm not going to talk to you. The other thing is I get a lot of artists on my Twitter like, play this. Like, or
can you?
Or they'll get, it's not even that though. It's a lot of people will have their friends tweet me like, hey man, you need to be playing this record. The artist didn't even get me the fucking record. So just off the rip, I can't play a record that I don't have. That's not even possible.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot to be said about relationship building. And even if you build a relationship with me, it doesn't mean I'm ever going to play your record. You know what I mean? I put that out straight. And I have to treat every independent artist, and basically every record, being independent or not, I had to treat them equally. And so, like, I could list off all these independent artists we played, but if we're not playing this particular independent artist that's talking, we don't play enough independent records. But if I was only playing that one artist that's complaining, he wouldn't be complaining at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, all right, dude, like, we can't play every independent record. We have to only choose the good ones, and we don't get to choose what's good. People choose what's good. I don't choose what's good. And that's why I say, like, going back to like mainstream records that we play, Drake not only controls the charts, controls the radio, he also controls radio research. Like, every record this dude drops is like gets the highest score. If you're putting a grade on him, he's like a straight A student. He does not miss with radio records. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get tired of Drake, but
I mean, I think
I'm only playing what people tell me they want to hear, which is constantly Drake.
They say trends recycle themselves every 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about it. If you go back to, okay, just say it's December of 16. If you go back 20 years in December, okay, what's playing? If it's this music and he ain't did it, why not give it a shot and put your own twist on it? People already love you, and that's the new trend. Like, you creating what's coming. So at that point, if you win, everybody else got to follow your trend. He did it with island music. He did it with the love songs. He did it with like clapping back.
Yeah.
Like, he did it in the notion. He made me go back to see what the trend was.
Yeah.
Because I know these things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, he's doing this for a reason. There's no way that you're gonna go from here to here to here.
Yeah. All
it don't make sense.
He wins every time, bro.
Every time.
Like, every time. And we sit there and we look at it, and I'm like, I can't believe this dude. Like, every record this dude releases, I'm sitting here like, play more Drake. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm just looking at numbers. The numbers say I got to play more Drake.
Okay, let me ask you. Now, if a DJ is spinning live at a club, do the same things apply as far as like what's spin on the radio versus what's spin at the club? Because you say things like you say, if you was like, I'm at the weekend, pull up.
Right.
Are you spinning what's typically being like the same wave as the radio?
I'm spinning typically what I do in mix show, if that's me. Now, the difference is the only exceptions I make to that is I don't do the agenda broadcast anymore. I gave that to Boog and Tui because I can't do the club no more, man. But sometimes, you know how the club is. Like, it won't really start getting a crowd until 11:30. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
At that point, I turn more into club mode than I would radio mode. But that whole first hour and a half or so leading up to when there was actually a crowd to DJ for, I was basically just doing the mix show. I'm going to play the hits. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was doing there. Mix show is a little different, though, because that's where we kind of introduce new records. You know what I mean?
And that, I think that alone, like, and I peeped that. I heard something I didn't hear And one thing and one reason why I always shouted you out was it wasn't because I wanted to shout out back or none of that. It was simply because I heard records I've never heard before.
And that's what we do. And that's what Big Show is for.
Yeah.
But we're still playing them in the same way. You know,
Right.
we're still playing them strategically. But that's what Big Show is for, and we want that to be a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On the radio. We want you to say, "Oh, you about to play new shit." You get off work at 5, and that's why I mix it at 5. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, if that's known more, it's going to be more people listening for something new in between the hours of 5 to whenever. You know what I mean?
And that's the point of doing it then.
Yeah.
And that's my highest. And the other thing about Mix Show that I think works out really well is we're not playing a whole record. We're playing a verse, a hook, we're out. And I think once you get used to listening to that, you know whether you like a song or not, another one is coming right behind it. So you're less likely to be like, all right, I don't like this song, but he's going to be done playing this in a minute and a half. I can wait 90 seconds and I'll see if I like the next one. You know what I mean?
Do they still have the I know a little bit ago, I don't know if y'all still do it. It's like from 11 to 12, it was good. Now, if we want to submit a record, a radio edit is probably handled. From that point, what would the artist need to do for the beginning steps of building a relationship?
You say if I were you, how would I go about it?
Yeah.
If I were you, this is how I go about it. If you have all your shit together and you got a record that's starting to bubble, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go on a Friday night, a Saturday night, Thursday night, basically every night that there is a club, a bar, whatever with a DJ. Yeah. I'm going to show up and I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to build a relationship with that DJ, I'm going to buy him a drink, and I'm going to work my record to him. And hopefully he'll play it. I don't care if he plays it at the beginning of the night. I don't care if he plays it as the last song of the night. I don't care if he plays it right in the middle when it's the best time to play it. It doesn't matter as long as he plays it. And then once you get a play out of him, I'm going to go to the next spot. And the next spot, I'm going to do the same thing on Friday. I'm going to do the same thing on Saturday. And I'm going to do that every week until people start hearing my record. Now, that's just the club shit. I'm also going to cover some kind of ground with internet. I'm going to go do 2 L's on the cloud, submit it to them.
Right.
I'm going to work the internet stuff. I'm going to have my people talk about the record. I'm going to shoot a video, put the video out there. I'm going to blast it out to, I'm going to every major hip hop blog, and I'm blasting that video out to every one of them. They might not post it on their blogs, but they're going to get the email. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm going to start talking to, if with me, I would start building a relationship with Tui, Jazzy T, and Ready Rob, and seeing if we can work it in the mix during their big shows. And then they're also in the clubs, and then the club starts bouncing to it a little bit. People start knowing the song. I'm gonna put that on video. I'm gonna ask one of those three. I'm gonna say, "Yo, can you show the video to Dolewite?" They show me the video. I'm like, "Yo, we can be playing this." That's it. Like, I have to see some kind of support.
Yeah.
I have to see people that aren't your friends liking your music. If I can see that, I'll play it on that.
Like real deal, pack out a entire building.
Yeah.
Nah.
Strength in numbers, man. And that was the point of it, was strength in numbers. And man, it was crowd energy was there. Like, but those are people. The people that were there were people that are on the cutting edge of music. You know what I mean? They're the tastemakers. They're the first people you want to get your music to, because they have people in their following that look to them to tell them what the next shit is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to bring that together would have been it's a great place to kind of start your music with that environment. Because the people there were real fans of music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like real fans of music.
Them the ones that coming out to shows and buying paraphernalia and CDs and all that. Yeah.
It was funny because I stayed for that event. I was up in the. I watched the show from the law.
So you kept looking down on it?
I was looking down on it. And the cool thing about that was where every artist, like, you saw the fans of them like in groups. You know what I'm saying? So like 1 minute, like this left area will be jumping, and then like somebody else would come on stage, and like the middle, there's some people in the middle that was rocking, and it was cool to watch from that vantage point. You know, like, it was dope because you could tell like everybody had their own crowd there, and like at different times, different spots, and the crowd was moving. It's dope.
So let me ask you this: what would be like if is it anything that you would be able to uh, introduce to the radio station for the city, music wise?
For the city, what kind?
Like, is there anything that you are able to introduce to the city, like music wise? Like, would you, or in the near future, or maybe coming along the lines of anything music wise that you're going to introduce?
But if something popped in my head, or popped in Boog's head, or Riz's head, or Jazzy T's head, and they're like, "Yo, I want to do this," and I thought about it, and we found a way for it to make sense. I'm open to anything. Man. I never shoot anything down, and that's what I like. I don't think there are any dumb ideas. I think that there's things that can work and things that don't necessarily work in this situation. You know what I mean? So I'm never closed off to anything. But I think the main thing that most artists need to realize, especially in Nashville, is like I want somebody from Nashville to get on. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think people realize that. Like I've been here 15 years. Like I don't like Atlanta is not my home anymore. This is my fucking home. You know what I'm saying? I want to see somebody win from here. With no benefit to me at all. I just want to see somebody from here really win.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing missing is somebody figuring out a way to get real fans in the city. And I think that's the one missing link there. And I don't know, a lot of people will argue that the missing link is the radio station, but I mean, we played a lot of independent records and you still don't necessarily see that support from the city. So I think it's not only radio. There's a missing link there between artists and fans. Somebody needs to figure out what that is. Whoever does would do very well. And I think, and that's one thing I really liked about the Elevate Nashville show was it just showed that those fans are there. But like I said, like it was kind of separated. Like a fan of Mike Floss music didn't really know, Lote's music, or a fan of Lote's music didn't really know Stan's music. You know what I mean? It's like I think there needs to be more introduction of everybody. Like, oh, you fuck with me, you should also listen to my man Mike Floss. You fuck with me, you also should listen to, you know what I'm saying? Just to people that you don't know. Like you need to tell them, like, yo, if you like this, man, you also like my man Stan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think when you do that and you start crossing those audiences, and I don't think enough attention gets paid to that, because I think when you start crossing those audiences, you don't just get more people more passionate about your music, or you don't just get people more passionate about the music that you're introducing them to. You get people more passionate about Nashville music as a whole. Right. And once you do that, everybody starts moving. And I don't think there's enough of that.
It's enough to go around though, man. That's the killer part. Like it takes for people to really honestly. I used to have a shallow mind frame. I'll be honest. I used to have a shallow mind frame about that. It took for me to go outside the city many times for me to actually see it.
There's enough to go around, and because I get on don't mean you can't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and people really need to realize that, man. People really need to realize
it's really gonna take for them to like really see something outside. Really, honestly, I say go to Atlanta. Don't keep going to Atlanta expecting an answer.
Yes.
They coincide and work with each other.
Yeah.
So that's one example, I think.
But I'll say this: is I grew up in Atlanta. Atlanta music always had a place with the Atlanta people. You know what I mean? And I remember that in 7th grade. I remember listening to Kilo Ali, who you probably never heard of in your entire life. That was in 7th grade in like the early 90s. Like I'm listening to Kilo Ali, who never made it outside of the Atlanta area. You know what I mean?
He was like one of that guy.
He was that guy. He was that dude. You know what I mean? And ever since then, that was the first real like Atlanta artist I remember getting on. And ever since then, Atlanta people have always supported Atlanta music. Now before that, you had, MC Shadi and Raheem the Dream and people like that. And there was a bubble there. And then Kilo came along and like everybody was a Kilo fan. And from then on, everybody in Atlanta supported Atlanta music. And a lot of times those records didn't make it outside of the Atlanta area. You know what I mean? Like, I come here talking like, y'all didn't play this? No, we never heard that.
You know the crazy part?
Memphis is a lot like that too, though. Memphis has got a few down there that people always supported Memphis music.
If it was a point to take over the city, it probably wouldn't even be a need to do it. You think about it. There's a lot of people that are like...
When I got there, they told me I couldn't get in. And I was like, well, I'm one of the coordinators, blah, 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 and I had to get in. Outside of Lido, I don't know anybody, or in Buck in his prime, how many artists can you name that have sold out buildings?
Not the sold out building.
I think when you see that and you think of what that event was, I think you definitely showed that there is love here for independent artists.
So did it elevate Nashville, or is it just a hip hop scene?
I honestly think it did. I'm gonna tell you why.
But what's next then?
It has to keep happening. It's like everything is based off momentum. It's just like, okay, I'll give you an example. I graduated from SAE right down the street for music, right? I did that for my mom. I already knew about music and stuff. But I wanted to get a degree behind it because I told my mom I'm going to go to post-education, right? Right. Okay. Once I left there, the day I graduated, I had been going back and forth to find out by any contest in Atlanta. Like, the scene for producers here and opportunities is super slim. So what I did was, I said, all right, well, I'm going to start going to Atlanta. I found the opportunity at Patchwork Studios, one of the big studios there.
Patchwork been on for a
long time. I won the day I graduated. I sat down like, man, this has been a crazy journey. I got an email, found out I won a contest. I said, oh shoot. So I prepared for it, went down there, met with the studio owners and the people who run it and all that. I've been working with them ever since. Now I'm a producer for them. I've already got my first placement with them. The year ain't out. So from that, you know what I'm saying, amongst other things I've been doing with other producers I've been working with and other things I've been getting my own stuff into. I've been taking the momentum from Patchwork and these other relationships I've been building. All I've been doing is building up momentum so my name will keep getting heard. And the more I get heard, the more people wonder who's Kangaroo. I hear that name, but I don't know him. Or they hear a record and don't know it's me. And they see my face, they see me in the interview, they're like, oh, so that's that Kangaroo guy. You know what I'm saying? From there, you have to keep doing it. My point in saying that is to say this. It's amazing that we got so much love in Nashville, period. That's like historical. You know what I'm saying? It cannot stop. That's just like when they had the come together day event, I know that my boy Petty had something to do with it. As far as like shooting basketball, they was at Brick Church. Everybody was out there. Anybody was somebody. All the artists who were pushing and moving, producers. Faye came out there. Tui was out there spinning. Joe Made was out there. Every artist you could think of, and then some people who helped throw events was out there, and they played basketball. And I think they raised money for something, but like it had to do with music. Stuff like that can't stop.
I think anytime you take a step up in the right direction, that's a form of elevation, man. And it's right there for you. It doesn't matter if the step was a big step. It don't matter if it was a small step, but it was a step.
Yeah.
It was, I was the one in the room saying, and we did we did a medium-sized venue for that. You know what I'm saying? I was one in the room saying, "Yo, we need to make it a smaller venue, just so we can make sure that it sells out." I thought selling it out was more important than I'd rather have sold it out at 400 or 500 people or whatever it was we did than have 1,000-person venue and do 800 people. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like selling out that person was very important. And so it was more important than getting 800 people, which honestly I think we could have got 800 people. You know what I mean? Like I think we turned away a lot of people.
I know for a fact a couple of friends that out there that it wasn't even people who did music. It were people who like threw events and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like, bro, I couldn't even get in. I'm like, me neither.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing we want. You know what I mean? We wanted it, but I think it was a step up. We'll do another one. Winter is a hard time because you don't want to plan something and then get a foot of snow like we got last year. You know what I mean? Like I went through that. I've done club promotions my entire life. You know what I mean? So like, you don't want to plan something big and then have weather be the thing to derail it. So you know what I'm saying? I think we're gonna shoot for spring when it starts warming up a little bit. We're gonna do another one, and it's gonna be bigger and it will be better. That was a dope show. That was a dope show on every facet. I think if you're an artist and you looked at it and you looked at the stage presence and you looked at the way the show went, everything was boom, 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 boom. They practiced for weeks. They all went to rehearsal together. They played with a live band. Like that was some dope shit. So yeah, I think without question that was. I think if you're an artist and you look at that and you have to think like, my shows need to be more like that, you know? Because I've seen a million independent artist showcases and shit, and they just standing there with the mic rapping. They have no fucking stage presence. They're not involved in the crowd. They're not doing any of that shit. And you're not moving units like that. You know what I mean? Like, right. It's just not gonna happen. Whenever you step on the stage, man, if there's 3 people don't want is the show to go so long that you lose people's attention. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm for different artists. I'm for adding artists. And I think the show length needs to be set. We have to continue to say, like, the show's going to be this long, and we're not going to go over. Because that showmanship is always hit a high note, get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's take a bow and walk off stage. Love you.
Like, how would so I make sure I step on nobody's foot. What would be the actions of you and or anybody else, like as far as like searching for that artist, or would it be a point to where like you have an open, like, okay, if you would like to be a part of this, email me for more information.
What, like Elevate?
Yeah.
That's something that I had to discuss with everybody else, man. I'm low man on totem pole with that.
No, I'm just like, because I know some people that's a part of it, but like not enough to be like, hey, go email them and ask this person, is it okay? And you know what I'm saying, build a relationship and see if you can get in there or something like that. Because I like me personally, I know a lot of artists that I would have liked to see with that show that roll with those same people, like that make dope music. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I honestly have no idea how we landed on the artists we landed on. To be real.
Who all was a part of it?
It was a lot of us, man. And the thing was, we all played a small role. You know what I mean? There is no head of it. There is no, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of people come together and playing a small role to try to shed more light on independent artists. Yes, and bring, kind of a fan sharing type atmosphere. And that's what we did, and it worked out. And I'm glad it worked out. I'm excited about it.